EC background, they will well understand about the concept of MATLAB. And now some people will think that we are from computer background or IT background or allied courses. So once you are going for understanding of this one MATLAB, so basically MATLAB stands for the matrix lab. So name itself represents that we are performing some vector matrices, because vectors and algebra plays a very important and vital role in any engineering things. So MATLAB is not only useful for electronic people, even it is used for analyzing, synthesis, doing synthesis, or doing some manipulations or operations in mathematics, mathematic people, then even for computer people also. Because if you have an image, if you want to make a suppose a signal is there, so that signal should give some delay of 30, 60 or 20 seconds for all the three colors, right? So if suppose adjacent size there is a huge traffic and you want to check whether the traffic has been completed or not. So in compulsory, if you see in India, especially in Hyderabad, there is a huge traffic jam. So there is no intelligence person, directly one police person will be standing and changing the one by one the switch. But coming to the foreign countries, if you visit to the Burj Khalifa, there near you will be seeing one intelligence is there, artificial intelligence. Means as sir told that we have multiple types of or some pixels of cameras. So that can be artificially going to change and we can able to see. But coming to the human, our body, we will have a eye which is acting like some camera. So because basically we have only three colors, RGB. But people, if they are going for shopping, they will tell that I need this color, that color. So how we are going to identify? So this all things are, our eye is supernatural than the artificial intelligence. Even though we can, so I just want to say that even for the computer background or IT or allied courses, whatever is coming, machine learning, even though in that one also we can use this technology. So MATLAB is a very user friendly, I can say the high level language, programming language. So like in Python, you will be using some TensorFlow or you will be using some Jupyter window in which you will be writing very few instructions, right guys? But coming to the MATLAB, even here also very few lines program you are going to write. Sir will be explaining about that one. So before that one, I want to give some basic operations which you can perform on any matrices. So everyone is frustrated with the signals and systems, so I don't want to involve in that one. So I will give simply the matrices. What is a matrix? You know that some rows and columns will be available. So suppose if you want to write a row, so generally you will be having some windows. Sir, editor window make matrix. So simply if you want to write some matrix with a row, so simply you are seeing that row matrix is coming. Suppose if you want to convert, so just I need to put the semicolon and write the three elements. This comma separation will be giving you the next call. Okay. So how the elements? Let's say A and B are the two matrices with 3 by 3 size. So we can able to find the size of a matrix, number of rows, number of columns. Then you can find the length of the matrix. You can find the rank of the matrix. You can also find the inverse of a matrix, right? Addition of a matrix, multiplication of a matrix. So here, suppose if you want to go for arithmetic operation, that is addition of a two matrices, you will write A matrix one thing with some elements, B matrix something with some few elements, then you will see the size, whether the size is equal. Let's say 3 by 3 matrix is there, A, and B is also 3 by 3 matrix, you can simply add by A plus B operation. Suppose if you want to subtract two matrices, you will be writing minus simply. Suppose if you want to go for multiplication, here directly you cannot put asterisk. While we are using the C programming, we used to put asterisk symbol, star. So that gives the multiplication of something. But here, if you go for that one, it won't give the correct result. You will get result, but it won't give the correct result, because if you multiply something, then row by row, column by column, you have to add. First row, first column, followed by second column, third column. It won't give that type of result. It may give some garbage type of result. You will get result if you put A dot B. But the correct thing which you need to write here is A dot star B. Then it will take row with column, next row with column, next row with the column, right? And you know the division of a matrix cannot be done. That's why we got many methods like inverse of a matrix. First you do the inverse of a matrix, then you can find the rank of a matrix, and so on. These are the few possibilities you can going to do. Okay, sir will be writing a simple program here. It's a very user friendly. Okay, so people will be having the think that MATLAB is totally related to EC. It's nowhere related to EC. Even the mathematics people, if they want to write roots of an expression, let's say a quadratic expression is there, ax square plus by plus c equals to 0. Suppose if it is the roots are real, then you can directly find out. Let's say x square plus 2 5x plus 6 is there. So directly you can say that x plus 2 and x plus 3. But in practical, suppose if you are going for some systems and signals or analyzing something, if you have the complex root or the imaginary roots, let's say, then what you will do, minus b plus or minus under root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. So all these formulas are related to mathematics which are already perfect from our inter background. So all this cannot find out by using something. So yesterday sir was explaining about the tool. Tool is nothing but, suppose someone is asking me to put something on paste something on the wall. So what I will do? I will take a gum, then I will paste that thing, right? Suppose someone is telling hang something on the wall. So what I have to do? I have to take a hammer, a nail, I need to hammer that one, then I need to put something. So like that, instead of going into the scratch, instead of going something into the scratch, we are directly going to put something by using some tools. So in signals and system, basically you are having the elementary functions like unit step, unit impulse, unit ramp, then exponential real, then you have a signum function, sin c function, and rectangular pulse. So sir was explaining about the rectangular pulse. Means suppose if you are giving the rectangular pulse and if you want to perform the Fourier transform, and we are very good at mathematics, right? So we don't want to go again for that formula. Yesterday everyone was getting frustrated with minus infinity to infinity f of t into e power of minus j omega t into dt. Since we are very good at mathematics, we are not going to waste our time. So being a smart person, technical person, we are just simply going to, instead of going to the scratch, directly I can write the instruction as the whatever the pulse is there, the pulse function is Fourier transform. If you are applying, you will be getting something called as a sinc function, sin c function or a sinc function. Starting from minus infinity to infinity, it is like a I can say the Gaussian noise. With at the middle it will be high value, and at the lower two sides, that is the higher values and the lower values will be getting decreases. Okay, suppose if you want to have a triangular function, if you want to find out the Fourier transform, so triangular function itself is a very complex function. If you are going for the solving that one, 17 to 18 steps it will be taking if you are solving with a mathematics. But we have a solution through the MATLAB. Simply what you can do is Fourier transform of a what do you call this triangular function is nothing but simply a sine square function, means sine c square function. So sine c square means amplitude scaling is going on. Suppose if it is coming down, that is down scaling. Suppose if it is coming up in the positive axis, that will be the way you are going. So simply you can use here the instruction. Suppose I was telling about the mathematics ax square plus by plus c equals to 0. So simply what I need to write here is sir, p is equal, suppose if I have 3x square plus 2x plus 4 is there. Okay, sir, p is equals to 3, 2, 1. So if you want to find out the root, it will get in a complex form, right? So now simply instead of going again scratch to the mathematics, simply you can simply write what? Root of whatever the p value you have given, simply do it. Okay. Sir, r is equals to something is equals to constant is equals to. Okay. So you got the, now you can able to find out root also, whatever the polynomial expressions are there, you can able to find that one also. So I just want to tell that whatever the signal is there, whether we are going to use that one or not in practical, because many of our students used to tell that, sir, where we are going to use this C programming, where we are going to use, because we need to code in some other way, but we need some logic things. So logic things can be done only if you have the basic idea. Suppose if I have the idea about the tables, then only I can go for mathematics. If I have the trigonometric function, I can go for trigonometric Fourier series. If I have some knowledge about sine theta, how we are going to write in exponential form, right? So exponential means e power of j theta, right? E power of j theta minus e power of minus j theta by 2j is the exponential form. So like this, you can use the hundreds of tools from here. So MATLAB is a very user friendly like your Python. So here it's a high level language, but one thing is there, here syntax are already available. Suppose if you see the applications of this MATLAB, so mathematical operations you can perform, vectors you can perform, then solving system linear equations. So what do you mean by differential equations? D square y of t by dt square plus suppose d 5 dy of t dt plus 6y of t is equals to x of t. So this is a differential equation. Now suppose if I want to use some mathematical tool here in order to convert this one to find out the Laplace transform, whether it is in S plane or Z plane or your j omega, that is the Fourier transform. So in Fourier transform you will be representing with j omega. In Laplace transform you will be using the S plane. In Z transform you will be using the Z plane, where we have some inverse transform and so on, right? So here you can also plot it. So graphical representation is also possible, like CRO. CRO is a type of analog device, whatever we are using. Even we also have the DSO, that is the digital storage oscilloscope. So in that digital form we can able to plot something, right? Like electrical signal. So those who are from electrical background, they can analyze how the transient analysis is going to occur. What is the DC voltage, what is the AC voltage, what is the frequency, what is the volume, what is the voltage, what is the current, how much amount of current is going from a particular device or a system. So here also we can able to plot. So once we can plot, we can able to find out its frequency. Once we can plot, we can find out what is the characteristic, whether it is a digital signal or analog signal. Because signal and systems plays a very important, since I am not from ASA, I am not telling this word, even whatever is the background, signal and system plays a very important role, right? Because not only the traffic signal, even whatever the signals we are using in computer. If you go for the computer, we will be seeing that there are 3 types of buses are available. Buses. So address bus, data bus and control bus. So why it is meant? Now CSE background people will be telling that these are going to connect from one device to other device. But what way, how they are going to connect? So how the signal processing is going to occur? So that graphically you can able to see, by that you can analyze the speed. So speed plays a very important role in today's era, because speed is only the thing. Because if I am starting from my home with a speed of 20 kilometers per hour, so how much time it will take? Suppose if it is a 20 kilometers distance, it will take 1 hour. So if I am coming 1 hour, so why should I waste the time? Time is money nowadays. So in order to compensate all those things practically, so we are going for signals and systems, and in this a very basic and important tool is the what you call MATLAB. Now coming back to the signal analysis by using this MATLAB, so we have many functions, programs we can write, like autocorrelation, cross correlation and convolution. Yesterday sir was giving about the cross correlation function and how we need to analyze, because mathematical tool, we are perfect in mathematics but not expertise in mathematics. So mathematics solution won't make us to convert that one into some signal analysis process, because there should be a conversion between the hardware and software, then only embedded system will be going to come, right? So suppose if you want to control some hardware using a software, that is nothing but a embedded system. So in order to compute all those process and how exactly that process or the system is going to work, we are going for this MATLAB tool. So it is not only for signal analysis. It is suppose if you want to see in previous days, if you want to book a ticket, so you need to stand in a queue, you need to write something, but nowadays even you can search anything with your voice. So how it is possible that Google engine is giving you the process of speech processing. So whatever your speech is there, if you want to simply sitting at home, you can search for anything. So how it is going to do? So text is converted into the speech. So we can do here by using a MATLAB tool. You can analyze what are the features of your speech. Suppose if my pitch is low, pitch means whatever the signal. So basically I will be using the sine wave. So how much is the pitch? Whether that pitch is maximum value, I can find out minimum value, what is the mean, what is the variance, and what are the kurtosis, what are the standard deviation, and so on. Many tools are available to find out the features of any pitch. So for a layman, what is the use of speech? Suppose some person is disabled, cannot able to walk. So they can speak, suppose. So now they can search anything. Suppose if I am illiterate, I want to book a ticket or I want to search something and I am unable to type anything because I am unlettered person. So what I need to do here is simply I need to speak something. So with that one only we can able to control. So there are plenty of applications I can say. So among that, image processing is also one thing is there. Sir will be explaining in detail. Thank you everyone.
It's not only MATLAB, but many softwares does the same thing. Because we are in the field of engineering and into electronics, so we support our software. Okay, it's not only MATLAB which does all these things. There are many. Okay, I'm going to deal about purely image processing, nothing else. And I want everyone to try and execute these programs. We will discuss only hands-on practice. We will only practice them. We will try and understand how MATLAB works with respect to images. Okay, next. Now, basic thing what I told you, that image is nothing but a light intensity. So light intensity is not defined with the limits. It's 0 to infinity. It is a product of incidented and reflected light. So when you multiply them, either you get a 0 or you get some infinite value. When you quantize it, you get 0 to 255. When you consider 256 levels. Why 0, why 255 depends on the color on which the light is being fallen. Okay, if I reflect a light on black, what does it do? It generally absorbs everything. So the value becomes 0 because there is no reflection. Okay, when a light falls on white, pure white surface, it's completely reflected back. So you get highest intensity. Next. Now these are the different types of images what I already spoke to you. I will not spend much time. I will try and close it as early as possible so that I just spend maximum time on practice. Okay. Now this is an intensity which is called as a grayscale image, or an image wherein which you have intensities from 0 to 255 or 0 to 511 depending on the number of quantizations what you have. Okay. And the values what you get in MATLAB are something like this. Some numbers which are between 0 to 255. Next, Martha. Next. Now RGB, color image. Now color image is formed with 3 intensity images. One is with respect to R, G and B. When you see them as a layers, you get one with respect to pure R colors, with respect to green, with respect to blue. When you mix all these colors, then you get a colored image. Then you get 3 intensity levels. You can see, you can observe 3 images, R, G and B. Next. I told you binary image, which is nothing but a black and white image wherein which you have 0 and 1s. So you have the intensities of zeros and ones. Next, indexed image. Next. Indexed image is again a colored image, but here you are referring to an index, you are referring to a content, something like a textbook content page wherein which the color combination of each level is being defined. Next. Now let us read them. I request you to switch on your systems. We will read an image and see whether we can see an image in a form of a matrix or not. Okay. The function what we use to read an image is IMRead. If the function is already exist in your image, in your directory, then you can give the file name in single quotes. मतलब हट जाओ, आप हट जाओ, निकाल दिए, रिकॉर्डिंग हो रहा.
Everyone please switch on the system. You will be finding an icon called as MATLAB. You can
Now, there is an inbuilt function called as there is an inbuilt image called as cameraman image. Okay, we'll try and view that image, read that image in a MATLAB, and then see how matrix looks like. Command window, you have workspace and your current directory. Okay, I am basically now working on command window, so you need not do anything. You can just type and enter. A is assigned, if you can observe, A is assigned with some values. If you see 256 cross 256 into uint 8. Uint 8 is unsigned integer 8, that means maximum value on that can be 255. Okay, 2 power 8 is 256. Since intensity starts from 0, so the values will be 0 to 255. If I open this and try to observe what is given in this, you can see all the values. These are all the intensities what I just reflected on the presentation of an intensity. Okay, now these are all that particular values. Now what I want to see is, let me check. You can see here the size of my image is 256 cross 256. I just want to check the size using a command. Okay, I want to see what is the size of my matrix or size of my image. Okay, now whatever image I have taken, whatever I work will work in a form of a matrix. Whatever I do, I work in a form of a matrix. So now I'm trying to just check the size. Okay, so the keyword is, generally for a matrix I have rows and columns, so I am giving two values, R and C. One is row, the other one is column, equals to size A. Enter. I get row as 256, I get column as 256, which is already visible there. Okay, I just wanted to check, because there might be an internal operation wherein which I require the size of a matrix to perform some operation. So I am trying to check the size of an image. Now my next job is, see, this image is from a directory, so I could directly read it. Suppose if I want to check and read an image from a location, then how? I want to read an image from a computer, from this computer. So how should I access that? So you need to type the location dot the extension of that particular file. I have just downloaded now. I have read an image from location desktop, image called as 2.jpg. Okay, that is a color image. The reason why I read a color image is I want to convert it back to grayscale now. Okay, now let me see how that image is. Till now we read an image, but we did not see how image looks like. Now let me see how that image looks like. I am show. This is the image what I read. I am show. Now I will try to use this image multiple number of times to do more applications. So I request you to download one particular image, color image, so that you can process them. Okay. Now this is a color image. As I told you that color image has 3 levels or 3 layers, R, G and B. If you want to see them, you can observe them. Now subplot is a keyword which divides your picture into multiple plots. Okay, Now if I use subplot and give the dimension as 2 comma 2, it divides my window into 4 different scales, wherein which 2 1 refers the 1 2 2 1 refers the first plot, 2 2 2 refers the second plot, 2 2 3 refers the third plot, 2 2 4 refers the fourth plot. That means 2 comma 2 refers a matrix. So my complete image gets converted into 4 different parts. You can display them on 4 different things. Now I will try to do on a first scale. I will project an image. On the second, I will project R components of that particular image. Third, I will plot G, and next B. Okay, I am using subplot. I will इमेज डायरेक्ट कॉपी कर आप बार बैठ जाओ, आराम से बैठ जाओ, अच्छा लगता है। Now if you observe, I wrote 2 functions. One is IMShow A, the other one is IMShow A with a colon, colon and 1. 1 refers the red color what I have. The red color what I have. 2 refers G, green, and 3 refers B, blue. Okay. Now let me just copy and check them. Now, since the image contains it doesn't contain most colors, it contains only slight colors, you can see that R, G, B are slightly varying. If you see that R is more darker, G is a bit lighter, and green is a bit more lighter. Okay. Now, if you take a more colorful image, if you can download and see a more colorful image, then you can observe the changes in R, G and B. Okay. Now, you can directly convert this image, convert the color image into a grayscale by using RGB to gray. The keyword to convert a color image to A grayscale image is RGB to gray. You can download a color image and just see, use it RGB to gray to convert an image into a grayscale image. Yeah, just a minute. RGB to gray, GRAY, and the variable. RGB to number 2, RGB to gray. I'll just convert it. Got it? So this is the color image. I am trying to convert this image into grayscale. Now you can see that I have converted the image into a grayscale image. RGB to gray. GRAY. You need to specify the variable where you have stored your color image. Which image you want to convert it into grayscale, you please mention that particular image. I am expecting that you are done with converting an image, color image to a grayscale image. Now let me.
ये सूरज साहब का बात करोगे?
हाँ ठीक है, मैं बात करूँ.
ठीक है.
Now let me resize my image. I have an image of some order. I want to resize it or downsample it. The thing is, I have 256 cross 256 image. I don't want that side. I want a 64 cross 64 image. That is sufficient for me. Okay. So I am resize is the keyword for that. Okay. So I am taking a variable, some variable x. I am resize a variable wherein which my image is stored, comma, square brackets, the size what you want. I want a size of 64 cross 64. I want an image of size 64 cross 64. Okay, I want a smaller size image. Now I can convert it. Now you can see that x is a variable with 64 cross 64 size. So resizing your image. How to resize your image? Okay, we converted our image from gray to color to gray. Then I am trying to resize. I don't want an image of 256 cross 256. I want a smaller image. So I need to remove some pixels from my image so that it can get reduced. So I have read an image called as B, which is a grayscale image. Okay. Now I have specified the dimensions what I want. 64 cross 64 in a square bracket. In a square bracket. First 64 refers the rows. Second 64 refers the columns. So now my image X will be of size 64 cross 64, a smaller image. Now let me check that. X equals to I am resize, RESIZE.
साइज बढ़ सकता है क्या? लोगों को दिख रहा नहीं होगा, फॉन्ट साइज बढ़ा.
इन्वर्टेड कॉलम
हाँ सिंगल इन्वर्टेड.
तो आया वो.
हाँ नहीं सिंगल टेस्ट कैसा भी आता, मगर रीड करने के लिए क्या है, आपको इन्वर्टेड कॉमर्स में देना आपका इंस्ट्रक्शन. ये कैसा भी आता है, मगर आपका इंस्ट्रक्शन तब तक रीड नहीं होता जब तक आप इन्वर्टेड कॉमर्स में नहीं देते, एरर आता आपको. ठीक है, कंट्रोल V, उसके बाद एक ब्लैक स्लैश डाल के इमेज नेम दे दो, डॉट एक्सटेंशन. आप साइज वेरीफाई करना चाह रहे हैं, रोज कॉलम्स RC साइज आपका वेरिएबल जो भी है X, तो आप साइज देख ले सकते हैं उसमें से. हाँ, तो अब अभी क्या है, ये डाउन सैम्पलिंग एंड अप सैम्पलिंग इज नथिंग बट इंटरपोलेशन एंड डेसिमेशन. You talk these terms in terms of signal processing. Image processing में भी होता है decimation and interpolation. Now instead of 65, now you can convert that 32 into 32 as 256 cross 256. some values will get added, but the image clarity will affect. The image clarity will, that I will show you now. Basic problem with that is,
Paint में you can resize and I can imagine do that. Is it affecting my resolution
it,
when I downsample or interpolate?
see, basic thing is, whenever you downsample your image, okay, the clarity may not affect that much, but if you are trying to take a downsampled image and upsample it, resolution. Okay, when you try to upsample an image which is downsampled, then the quality will 100% affect, because you are inserting some unnecessary things. You repeat rows, you repeat columns. So what happens because of that is, all these blocks are created. I will just show you a downsampled image and then do an upsampling for that. Okay, I have already converted my image X to 64 cross 64. Now I will convert it back to 256. Okay, I am converting a downsampled image back to same size. Okay. It will affect, because when I remove some samples, I don't know what I have removed, so we don't get the same result. Obviously the resolution will get affected. The reason is, when you upsample it, you normally try to repeat a row, or you follow a pattern which may not be exactly what in the original image was. Okay, now I am trying to do that. This is X. I am taking an X image which is already downsampled. I am trying to do upsampling to that. So I am taking Y equals to now you can see the image which I converted into 64 cross 64, and when I again converted it into 256 cross 256, the clarity, the resolution of the image is gone. The reason is, downsampling is an irreversible process. Once you do downsampling, you cannot regenerate your signal back. Yes. You cannot regenerate your image back. Downsampling is an irreversible process. You may get a closed image, but you will never get an exact image. Clear?
Sir, is there any possibility to make gray to RGB?
RGB to, see, that's what. Once you change the colors, you may get a RGB to a gray to RGB. You have a command reverse there, but you will not get the exact colors. You may not get the exact. You will get a closer colors, but not an exact colors. RGB to gray, RGB to binary, BW. Binary is BW, and RGB to index. RGB to IND, indexed image. These are all the keywords. You can do gray to RGB, but the thing is, you do not generate the exact colors.
Whatever, but we get the
You get colors.
Eastman color the same.
Pardon?
Eastman color each.
I did not do.
Eastman color. Eastman color.
East?
Eastman color. पुराने जो movies रहते थे ना.
जी.
के जो बता रहे कुछ
हाँ, similar concept. But the thing is,
that color at that time.
no, yeah, that's what. All the pictures which were converted,
Sensitivity of that resolution is
been converted to color now and projected as a color movie. NTR's one movie, Dilip Kumar's one movie. I don't remember the names. Mughal Azam, NTR the good movie. It was Maya Bazaar. They are converted into color using these sort of techniques. Clear? Now we understood few things. We have taken an image into MATLAB. We saw it as a matrix. Then we resized it. We saw the size of it. We have taken a color image, converted into gray. We then saw how to downsample it and upsample it. We understood one thing is, downsample is an irreversible process. Once you downsample it, you cannot regenerate your image exactly back. Now let us have some since there are many CSE people, let's have some fun today. I just want to, there is a cameraman image which I already gave.
Seeing since last 12 years.
This cameraman image started, see, it's not 12. I studied this in digital image processing 16 years back. So I am observing Lina image and cameraman image from that time. Okay. Now, if you observe, this is the actual cameraman image. The left side is an actual cameraman image. I have done some mirroring operation to that and converted it as an image which is looking on the other side. Mirror image. Okay. Now, how to do mirror imaging? Now, there is a concept of swapping which we people generally study in C language. Swapping. Okay. Now, since image is a matrix, I need to swap them. Swap such a way that first row goes to the last row. First column goes to the last column and the last column goes to the first column. It's not transpose. Transpose, you shift rows and columns. I don't want to transpose it. I want to shift my columns. First column as a last column as a first column, and simultaneously second column becomes my second last column and second last column becomes my second column, and so on. Pardon? But you have to start from the starting point. Then only you come at a middle point. If it is no. See, basic thing is you have to decide whether your image is a square image or a rectangular image. Okay. Now, if the size, number of columns are even, then swapping is even. So first becomes last and middle you have two columns, so you can swap them. Okay. And if the number of columns are odd, then you have center column as an odd column which is left alone. So it's better that you start from starting. Okay. Continue. So center column will be remained as it is and you will continue on. Okay. Can we write a program for that?
So nicely, what are you doing examination branch,
sir? I am a teacher cum administrator. I have been in administrative position from almost 12 years and as well as teaching. Okay. There are few people who are my students here. Geeta is my student. Sharia madam is my student. I have been teaching in multiple colleges, not MATLAB but some other subjects. Okay, let's concentrate on this. Okay, I told you that image is considered as a matrix. Now, how to access each and every element? So, those people, most of you are from computer science, so you know to access matrix you require two for loops. Isn't it? Two for loops, one for row, one for column. Okay, one for row, one for column. I did the same thing. I used a temporary variable. It's not required, but I used a temporary variable, picked first column, saved that in a temporary variable. Okay, picked last column, pushed it to the first row and then swapped it. It can be done. It's my wish. Because the reason I just wanted to show you how calculation is being, how much time it takes to execute your program. Okay. Now I will just show you the code. If you can just copy it, I will explain you. Initially I have taken a matrix. If you see percentage A, दिख रहा? Okay. Now I will come to all those keywords what are used. CLC is clear screen. It will clear all the commands which are on your command window. Clear all clears all the temporary variables which are already used. Close all will close all the windows which are related with your MATLAB. That means all the figures which you have already opened, everything will be closed. So I am making everything nil. I am starting again. Okay. Now don't read the first to understand the program. Let's not read the first one. I am read. We'll discuss that later. I am concentrating on a matrix. A equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 100, 120 and 140. So I want to just swap them.
Can I write this in workspace or shall I include a M file for this?
Anything. It's always better that when you are writing a program, it's always better that you write it in a M file, editor file. Okay. If you want, you can also write it on your command window. You can execute that on your command window always. You can execute. See, the only thing is, if you write it in a M file on an editor, you save it, you can reuse it. When you write it on a command window, when I type CLC, everything will go. So it's always better that whatever we do, try to do it on a editor. Now, I have taken a matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 100, 120 and 240. My intention is to swap them. We'll first work on matrix, then we'll understand it, and then we'll do it on a image. Now, I don't know what is the size of my image, so I am trying to find the size of my image using a keyword called as size. We already did this. R refers rows, C refers columns. It's up to you. You can name whatever you want. They are just variables. Okay. Size A comma V. Tick and talk. TIC and TOC. These are used to find the execution time between your program. Okay. Tick tock. It is generally it starts the clock and stops the clock whenever the execution is completed. It starts the clock and stops the clock. I just wanted to show you that we can even check the speed of our program. That's it. Nothing more than that. I just wanted to give the information on that. Okay. Now I wrote 2 for loops. One for loop for reading arrows. Percentile is that when I copy this, see, that is a comment. No, I just taken an example first to understand a matrix. मैट्रिक्स पे ऑपरेशन, मैट्रिक्स पे छोटी 3x3 मैट्रिक्स में स्वैप हो रहा नहीं हो रहा देख के, देन आई विल शो इट ऑन एन इमेज. आई जस्ट वांट टू शो यू दैट स्वैपिंग इज डन, स्वैपिंग हो रहा नहीं हो रहा देख के, देन आई विल मूव इट ऑन ए कंप्लीट इमेज. ओके, percentile is a comment used for comments. I have commented that will not get executed. But when I am executing it on a program, I will first execute it with a small matrix so that we can understand the program, then a complete image so that everything is clear to you. Okay. I have taken 2 for loops for I equals to 1. Now this is the syntax for a for loop. If I write for I colon r, that means all the values from 1 till r. I just wanted to know why did I not take from 0. My question to you is, why did I take from 1? Why did not I take it from 0? Initial. See, basic thing is, in matrices, whenever we talk in terms of matrices, we start with first row. And matrix doesn't support 0. Okay. So, always it should be 1. 1 in a steps of 1. The second one refers that in a steps of 1. Last R refers that is the end point. So, here you have a condition. I need to start from 1, end at R. And work with steps of 1. Okay. Now, I have considered a k variable which is equals to 1 to make a temporary variable and all. Then I am accessing next for loop for j equals to c. C is nothing but the last column. Okay. So I am taking the first row and last column so that I can first row and last column so that I can swap them with first row, first element. Okay. C minus 1. Since I have taken the last value, I am decrementing it till 1. I hope this is clear. Now, A1 comma K refers the first row, first element in my actual image. A is my actual image. A1 comma K refers the first row, first element. I am storing that in temporary. So, you can ask me why temporary variable is required when result I am storing in something else. Temporary variable is not required.
Because your image is swapping now. What if I want only some part of your pixels to swap, not all? Like his face is facing that side, his face should remain that type, but body turn like.
You select, you identify the rows and columns which are to be swapped. You identify which rows and which columns you want to swap. That only you can swap, rest of them remains same based on the condition what you say. You need to know the row and column.
Suppose if I'm sitting like this, I am gone to show my face that side, you select this face, pixel.
You need to identify the positions, the boundaries. Then it becomes easy. I will explain you to how to identify boundaries also. There is lot more in my presentation. I will show you how to find the boundaries using edge detection techniques. Then we can easily do that. Okay. Now my intention is to just do some mirror operation on my image. Clear? Simple mirror operation. So I am storing my first row, first column in temp. Then I am storing my first row, last column. First row, last column in result 1 comma 1 and temp value to the last. So it will just swap using a third variable. It's not required actually because I have two different variables. MATLAB works with dynamic memory allocation. So memory can be allocated at runtime. So it's not required, but I just used it just to check the time. Okay. Now k equals to k plus 1. This will get executed till all the swapping is done. All the rows and all the columns are swapped. Then I am using subplot as I showed you, and I just want to project my result. Okay. Let me copy this and show you the result. What is that? 2 to 1. 2 to 1 means a plot is divided into 4. 2 means 4 subplots, and 1 refers the first row, first column. 2 refers the first row, second column. 3 refers the second row, first column, and 4 refers the second row, second column. It's just math. See, everything, whatever you do, fix up in your mind that you work with only matrices, nothing else. Even you are solving a simple mathematical equation, then also matrix. Even if you are adding two numbers, then also matrix. Whatever you do, it's only matrix. Clear? Now, let me copy this and paste in my editor. You just check the program. If you want to see the result of a matrix, I will show you. If you want to directly see an image, then also I will show you. It's left up to you. I am just showing the result of a image. Now this is the result of the mirror imaging. Now the question what you asked, 2 to 1 is the left side image, 2 to 2 is the right side image, 2 to 3 is empty, 2 to 4 is empty. I have another option of displaying two more images on this plot. Okay, you can give a title to this. Keyword is title, open the brackets, single quotations, whatever you want to write. Original image here and mirror image here. Clear? Pardon? Now you give the dimension, you increase the dimension. 2, I gave 2 into 2 is 4. That's the reason only 4. You make it as 3 into 3 comma 3, 9, 10 comma 10.
Sir, you can do any kind of image, high resolution image also.
Yes, you are, the basic thing is the displaying of your laptop should be high resolution so that you can display the high resoluted image. If the display of your laptop doesn't support the high resolution, you cannot, you can work with it, but you cannot display it.
Okay, cannot display.
You cannot display because these the laptops have some certain resolution. Beyond that resolution, you cannot display. So based on that, you can display it. Is this clear?
Yes, subplot, just show me the portion. Subplot.
So try to add the. Okay, no, nothing.
नहीं बोलिए 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 सर. अच्छा, you want me to write comments?
No, I just wanted to know how you decided the range of those figures.
No, see, the basic thing why I took 2, 2 is because the next thing is what I want you to do. I want you to do 2 more images on that same plot. That's the reason I have taken 2, 2. 2, 1 is sufficient.
You are dividing into 4 parts.
The image, 4 parts. 2, 2 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You are displaying the image in first part, second part.
Third and fourth you are supposed to do now. I am giving you an work.
Sir, any size of image you can do anything. Like 3 into 3, 4 into 4 pixels.
Any size. Now, my next job is, if you have understood this, I have taken a mirror image on with respect to this side. Can I flip my image? Flip my image means in the sense upside should come down and the down part should go up. Can we flip that? Do it, it will not work. Do it, it will not work. Please try it. So the reason is you are supposed to use some other keyword to the result what you got. If you just try to change your rows and columns, you are supposed to just invert your image, not to just change it. If you just change the rows and leave the columns as what we did in the other case, the image will not perfectly flip.
Sir, this means in the bottom line we are flipping to upward side. There is no change, no in column.
नहीं करके देखो, it will not come. The only thing what you need to do to flip the image is you need to rotate this image by 180 degrees. Second image by 180 degrees. You will get your result. You need not do anything. Just rotate your second image by 180 degrees. Keyword I am rotate.
Simple, no need to write down.
Say MATLAB is very easy. MATLAB is very easy.
Using same programming logic.
You will not get it.
Those
Try it. You will not get it.
any angle you can change the image.
You can change 360 degrees. So use I am rotate to the second image. You will get a flip of the first image. 180 degrees. Minus 180 degrees, you will get the other one. Okay, I have already code for it. You can try and execute that. Now if you see this, the reason why I used this image is upside down is a photo, downside up is another photo. When I was in school, we used to have a chocolate, ulta pulta, some chocolate, wherein which one side you get a Sardarji, the other side you get a super boy. Okay, same illusion. From upside you see one person with an hat, from downside you can see that a person is crying with his something crying, something like that. Okay, now this is first one's reflection, mirror, its flip, and that person's flip is given there. Okay, you can add the titles to that: original image, mirror image, flipped original image, flipped mirror image, and all. To my previous code, I just added one line: z equals to I am rotate result, 180. नहीं दिख रहा क्या? अब इसमें I will just copy this and now so I made a simple change. I have just rotated 180 degrees to my original image, my mirror image. I got the flip of original image. I rotated 180 degrees, then I got my flipped image.